Welcome to this mini episode of the Perception Coach podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about certainty and how you can use this to be a powerhouse in your own life, to live with more energy, more congruence, more confidence to really go after and get the things that you want to get. Now, we're going to look at what is certainty, and we're also going to look at how certainty can help you to build confidence as well. So, first off, we take a look at what really is certainty. Certainty is how sure you are about something. It's how true it really is for you. So you might have a certainty that the sun is going to come up tomorrow because you've got a lot of evidence that's something that you've experienced a lot in your life. You wake up every day, the sun comes up. You might be certain that you can brush your teeth very well, and that's something that you're very confident about. You might be certain that you can do the washing up and you can do that okay. You might be certain that you can drive your car. For some people, they might be not certain that they can drive their car. Maybe they're unsure about the competency levels, right? So as we get into different areas of our lives and different ideas that we have about ourselves, our certainty will either go up or it will go down. And it's how true we think things are. Okay, so the more certain that you are, the more belief that you have, the more power that you have behind it. And that's what confidence is. Confidence is a certainty that you can do the thing that you want to do. But here's the thing that I'm going to dive in with you today and help explain to you so you can understand your levels of certainty, your levels of belief, and then use these and shift these to your advantage so you can build certainty and then build that self-belief, which will give you self-trust and confidence. So really that certainty is how true you think something is. And this isn't created in circumstance or facts. It is created in your own thoughts and your own beliefs. Okay? So the more that you think something, the more that you believe it, because a belief is a thought that you have repeatedly. Okay, so if you're really sure that you can do something, you're really certain in it, you'll be thinking that all the time. Something that you know you can do. And you think, I know I can drive my car really well, or I know I can be confident at work, or I know I can go out and speak to anybody that I want to speak to. Or you'll have a thought that I find going out speaking to people is difficult, or I find it really difficult to speak up at work, or I'm worried about what people are going to think of me. Every time you think the thought, you reinforce the belief. And this also gets reinforced and added to with actions as well. So what we're going to look at today is how you can build that certainty, but it really starts with understanding that certainty isn't something that comes and happens in circumstances. It happens in your thoughts, because you might have evidence about something and you think, great, but then one piece of evidence that goes against it, it can kill your level of certainty, can kill your level of belief. Let's say you have the belief that you can go and talk to anybody you want to talk to and have great conversations, and you go out and you speak to 3 or 4 people and you feel great, and then you go to speak to somebody and the conversation doesn't go how you want, and then you start to doubt yourself and you think, are people as friendly as I thought they might be? It's all happening in your own head. That's why understanding that your levels of certainty, your levels of confidence, of course, they get added to and impacted by the outside, but it's always built on the inside by what you're thinking and what you're believing and how certain you are. So the thing that I notice from working with hundreds of people is that the people that lack confidence are looking for certainty in fact and in truth. So what I mean by this is they will only take action and only have real belief in themselves if they 100% know they can do something, if they're 100% sure. So they can only be confident if they go into that meeting and they know 100% that what they're talking about is fact and what they're saying they can do. And although this appears like the right way to do it or a sensible way to do it, the problem with this is we don't have certainty. Occasionally we can be certain about something, but 99% of life is uncertain. You can't be certain if you ask somebody for something that they're going to say yes. You can't be certain that if you do something, it's going to succeed, right? So if you're looking for that to be a fact and you're wanting evidence or proof to give you that, you're going to lack certainty and you're going to lack confidence. So here's the key. The key is to realize that you create it in your choice of thinking and in your choice of actions. If you choose to be certain about something, you can be certain that you're going to get the result. You can be certain that they're going to say yes. You're going to be certain that you're going to take the actions. You come from that place and you act from that place. And it's a very different place rather than needing that certainty, because that just doesn't arrive. So this is something that you create yourself rather than something that you wait for. So you create this in your thoughts and in your actions. So you decide what you want, and then you create the certainty in your speaking and in your actions. So that's how you do this. But there's another key layer underneath that I want to get into, and it's a distinction between attachment and commitment, because this is where people get stuck, because they think, well, if I create certainty and I'm going to ask this person and I'm going to have certainty that they're going to say yes, what happens if they say no? Okay. And again, this is where we get really emotionally attached and invested. And then we feel like they have to say yes. And then it ramps up this pressure. So certainty is most powerful when you are unattached. So being unattached means that you're committed to really going for it 100%, but you're okay whether it works out and you're okay if it doesn't work out. That's the part where you're able to let go. And when you let go, you can ramp that belief and that certainty up even more, because you're not worrying about it not working out, and you're not needing to have the facts. You're not needing to have it all set and straight before you take action. Okay, so I'll give you a personal example of what it's been like for me in public speaking. So before I got into public speaking, it was something that I was super afraid of. Going out and speaking in front of people, being in front of a group, was something that exposed a lot of my own fears, a lot of my own doubts and insecurities. And I was certain that, first off, I'm not great at speaking, and second, that speaking is scary. And this was something that I was certain about. So I was waiting to have all of the confidence and all of the certainty before I would get in and take action. Now, the problem with this is that I can't get out and do that if I'm coming from that fearful place, because I'm just going to be so terrified to get started. So over time, as I've gone and spoke in front of people, and yeah, I was scared, and yes, I did it, and I built confidence over time, my belief and my certainty shifted from it's scary and I'm not good at speaking to I love speaking and I'm good at it and I enjoy it. I love speaking, right? So as that started to change, now my certainty is in I love speaking and I'm good at speaking. And then when somebody asks me to speak, then I feel excited about it and I'm looking forward to it. But this is something that I really want to share with you, because I think a lot of people don't really go into this and don't really explain this on a deeper level, is that at any moment I could lose that. Let's say I go and speak and I have a challenging experience. So this happened to me a number of years ago. I went and ran a workshop, and as I started the workshop, I was getting into my first story and I hadn't really practiced it. And there was a room full of 30 people in a corporate environment, and I just froze. And I stood and I looked out across the room, and it must have been about 20 seconds, but it felt like 2 minutes. And I just wanted to get out of the room. I wanted to run away. It was really scary. And then I looked out and I caught eye contact with someone, and they were nodding at me, and then I just started to speak and words came out, probably didn't make sense. I got back out into the room. We got back in the flow. And in the end, the workshop went incredibly well. It was really fun. But that moment put a seed of doubt in my head that maybe I'm not that good, and maybe this is scary. And that, if that's a seed that I begin watering and planting by thinking it over and over again and then acting from that place, I start to build a certainty in not having the ability, and I have an uncertainty in my ability. Now, what you've got to see is that moment doesn't have to define me, because certainty is not built in the circumstances or the events of what happens. It's built through choice in what I choose to think and what I choose to believe. I create certainty in my speaking, and then I live into it in my thinking, my actions. Okay. So when I then re-choose that I enjoy speaking and it's fun and I'm great at it, then I go and I act from that place, and then I start to get more experiences. But the key with this is to know it's down to you, it's down to your choice. Because if we live in attachment where our certainty and our confidence is based on the past, and it's based on the circumstances, and it's based on the random thoughts and judgments that we just have automatically, then we're going to be at the effect of our own fears and at the effect of the environment. But if we know that we can create certainty by choice in our thinking and in our commitments, that's when the game changes and we can really start to have autonomy and control and choice over our experience and over our confidence. Tony Robbins said that great leaders know how to step into the uncertainty and bring certainty to the situation. What he means is this, that a leader can create that level of belief and they can give it to the people. Look, we're going to get this sorted. We're going to figure it out. This is the direction that we're going to go in. A great leader is vulnerable because they do not know there's a guarantee, because let's get rid of the idea that there is a guarantee. There isn't. But we can create the guarantee in our speaking. Does this mean being reckless? No, but it does mean taking calculated risks. And that is what life is all about. Because if we knew that everything was going to work out, if we had that certainty, life would be boring, and it's just not the way that it works. So the key is to know that you can create that certainty in what you think and in what you do. And your emotions are going to be signals of whether you're on course and you're congruent and you're going for it, or you're off course and that fear's got in the way and you're starting to doubt yourself. Your emotions and the way that you're feeling, if you're feeling fearful, you're feeling stuck, you're feeling anxious, it's just a sign that you can shift that internal level of belief and certainty and then take an action that will back it up for you. So as you go out and you live with certainty and you live with power and you live with confidence and you really practice this, see it as a practice. It's like a muscle that you can build. If you stick with it over time and you keep practicing and you don't give up, you can be the confident person that you want to be and live life in a way that is fun, is free, and enjoyable for you. If you've enjoyed this, let me know. I'd love to hear what you think. I'd also love to hear what episodes you'd like to hear me talk about in the future. I appreciate you for joining me. I'll catch you soon. And as always, big love.